My name's Rob, and I've been a long-time listener of the show. I'm 29 years old, and I just figured I'd call you and, let you know I'm a fan, that I listen, and just to keep on keeping on.
Hey, what's up, Randy? This is Ben from Newton Grove, North Carolina. I hope all is well up there in Keene Mountain.
Oh, shit, man. Just discovered your podcast. Ain't got nothing to say, no questions or nothing. Much love. Stay strong. Also, just letting you know you're blowing up on YouTube. I'm from Southeast Tennessee, and I saw this shit. Like, I shouldn't be seeing shit from somebody in Virginia in jail. You're blowing up, dude. Congrats.
Hey, Randy. It's watching your podcast, man. I really enjoy them. Want to tell you, good job, man. Keep it up. Appreciate it. Thanks, buddy. My name is Brody. Take care, man.
I just wanted to say I regularly think about you. And your last podcast I listened to, it was really a wonderful thing you said. You actually made me fucking cry when you talked to your wife and you said, I have pages more I can say, but I can wrap it up right here. That was really powerful. Really happy for you, dude. I don't think that I can understand what happiness really means, but to be trapped in a box, still find happiness, to me, is special. So, kudos to you. Maybe this whole time I was wrong. Maybe God is real.
Hello, this is a prepaid call from an inmate at the Virginia Department of Corrections, Red Onion State Prison. To accept this call, press 0.
This is Randall Via. I'm currently serving 1,214 years for capital murder in Red Onion State Prison in the state of Virginia in the USA. This is my podcast, Red Onion Randy. I hope you enjoy listening to me today. This is Randall Via, currently serving 1,214 years for capital murder and armed robbery. Currently being housed at Keene Mountain Correctional Center in Oakwood, Virginia in the USA. Welcome to my podcast, Red Onion Randy. I hope you enjoyed listening to me today. If you have any questions or comments or want to leave a message or whatever, I've got a voicemail line. That number is 1-888-524-1932. For anyone outside the continental U.S., just put a plus in front of the 1, and you're good to go. You can also visit my website, which is new and improved and got different features and whatnot, at www.redonionrandy.com. We also have some merch up there. So far, it's just a hoodie and a T-shirt with my logo and everything. You can find that link on my website. I hope you support me. You can also find me on X at Red Onion Randy. I hope you do. Let's get started with the podcast.
Today, I'm just going to catch people up with where I'm at. It's been a while since I've done a personal update. Normally I come on here and I have a topic and I discuss that topic. This time, it's just going to get me. It's been, like I said, I'm now in Keene Mountain. I'm in a single cell pod. well, the bottom tier, it's all single cell, which I am one of, and the top tier has double cells, meaning 2 guys are in 1 cell. And the good thing about this pod that I'm in, as I've previously said, I get wrecked all day long. So it's not as good as it was when I first got here. Just the way they're running the pod now, you had some guys down in B building. They came out for pod rec and everything, and they waited till a new CO was working over there, and they went and had somebody like, yo, man, tell them we're locking down and cell such and such, and it wasn't their cell. And the CO, just thinking nothing of it, he opens the door, they step in, he closed the door behind them, and these 2 dudes, they beat this other dude's ass basically for an hour, and they beat him up pretty bad. So, obviously, the administration has no choice but to respond to something like that and change things. So now we're not allowed to come out the cell, and we're not allowed to go back in the cell unless there's a floor officer on the floor, which is a pain in the ass. I mean, I can understand doing that down in B building, but you're doing it down in the pod I'm in, which is technically considered sort of like an honor pod. You got a lot of guys in this pod that have jobs and so on and so forth. Maybe, just maybe, I'll be getting a job myself starting the end of next week after July the 1st. At least that's what the warden told me. Then again, I have heard that several times before. I was supposed to start work on this date. I was supposed to start work, after Veterans Day, and it never materialized. So we'll see. I'm definitely not holding my breath and waiting on it. It would be nice, though, because that's a little bit of extra money, and, I'm in the process of working towards hiring John Sheldon, and, which I will do an update on that sometime soon. But I've got one more consultation with him, and I want to talk to him on that, on some new things that he brought to my notice in the last conversation that we just had. So I'll wait for that. But, every little bit helps. But the thing is now, it's a pain in the ass. Getting in the cell and getting out the cell is just a huge pain in the ass, and it's not even worth it. What really gets my damn goat on this is down in B building, they did this for a week and a half, and this came from the COs. Like, we asked the COs who used to work down there and that are now working up here, and they were like, they haven't done that in B building and C building for months and months on end. It started in B building, it lasted a week and a half, and the dudes down there told them, man, we ain't going for that shit, man. Y'all want to fight, we can fight. So they stopped doing it. They can continue now. They can go in and out their cells at will. But yet down here in my pod, they're still pushing that issue. Which is frustrating as hell because, you got a lot of guys in here, especially the older guys. You got guys in here that are so old and their health is so bad that they literally cannot even walk the 200 feet to the chow hall to get their trays and come back. They got to have somebody in the pod go over there and get the trays for them and bring it back just so they can eat. Yeah, you got them out here and they've got to wait and hold it for, and it's not like they're making rounds every 30 minutes. They might make a round every 2 hours. Hell, some days you don't even see them for like 4 hours. We're just in here by ourselves. So that's frustrating as hell to deal with, but it is what it is. The pod, the way they run the rec and all that stuff is great. I like it. You don't have to fight over the phones. You don't have to fight over the kiosk or the microwave. For the most part, you've got guys, they work with one another. But, you've got a bunch of guys in this pod that are hot. And that's the only problem up here that I genuinely have is the caliber of inmates I'm around. Like, they're not prisoners, they're inmates. You've got a few good ones. You got Cold Bucket, you got Red, Ryan, Micah, you got Q, you got Jersey, you got Hawaii. There's a few guys in here, Bird, that I genuinely like. They know how to do time. Because, man, the rest of them are just hiding. They're either child molesters, they're sex offenders, and it just, but they walk around like they're tough guys. I don't get it. You got this one dude in here, this old guy. Like, if I sneezed on him, it would probably shatter his spine in 14 places and sprain his big toe. But yet, he wants to come out because he's in cell. Well, I ain't gonna say that, but he's up near the front of the pod. So what he likes to do when the door's open, he runs over and he'll get certain phones and he'll take the receivers off the hook and just let them hang down. And when a person does that, for the most part, nobody messes with those phones because somebody's reserving it. Somebody might be, talking to somebody and be like, hey, hold up real quick. I got to go grab something. I got to go do something real fast. Especially the way they do the, getting in and out the cells. You might not have a chance to get it for 4 more hours, so you just do what you got to do. Nobody in this pod has their own phone. So, this is going to have to stop. So what I did this morning, he had it. I got up, I prayed, I worked out, I ate some oatmeal, and I come out, synced my player to the kiosk, sent an email off. And then, I noticed when I come out, he had the particular phone that I like to use, which is all the way on the end up near the booth. And the reason why I like to use this phone is because it makes it easier for my editor to edit out a lot of the background noise and the screaming and yelling and all that stuff, because it's all the noise and the sound is coming from one direction only instead of coming from both directions. It makes for better quality audio. So I like to get on this phone, and guys know I like to get on this phone. So him and the 2 dudes that, usually try to get this phone and hog it for themselves, they were sitting at the table. I just grabbed my chair, walked over here, picked the phone up and started using it, and he's just mad dogging me the whole time, and I'm sitting here with my editor just laughing at it. Like, man, fuck you, dude. It seems like lately guys are pushing me towards throwing my chest back out. I don't want to do that because I don't bluff. That's the thing about me. I don't bluff, and I will call your bluff. You start running your mouth to me, I'm going to call you on it. I don't care. I have no backup or give in me. That's just simply the way I'm built. So I am having to be a little bit careful because there have been lately a lot of guys have been just poking at me. I guess, God is definitely allowing me to be tested. I have a feeling 2025 might be my year. I could be wrong, and I've said this before, but I don't know. I think some things are really changing in the law and here in Virginia. It's going to be Governor Glenn Youngkin's last year. So even if it doesn't happen this year, I don't see myself staying in prison longer than sometime in 2026. Depending on what governor wins, I'm pretty sure Ralph Northam is running again. He's going to win. Or maybe the current Lieutenant Governor, Winsome Sears, she's definitely running for the Republican governor. She might win. Either way, if either of them 2 wins, they're bringing back parole. They're bringing back the old law. They're a lot of this draconian crap that's been going on for the last 20-some years since Bill Clinton. Is all this stuff is about to change for the better in 2026 when we get the new governor. Unless something completely unforeseen happens, and we get like Jason Myers, the Attorney General, he's supposed to be running. If he runs and wins, we're screwed. We're absolutely screwed. But so I've been dealing with a lot of this stuff, and I'm married now, and that's been going. I cannot say enough good things about Nick. That woman she keeps me grounded. She makes me laugh. She's always encouraging me. She's always pushing me to be better. And she's been a definite godsend to me. I genuinely would not have made it this far if it wasn't for her. If God wouldn't have put her in my life, there's no way I would have made it this far. because every time, like, it really, like, somebody really, like, the other day, you've got a child molester. Oh, this is a crazy story right here. So, this child molester is in the cell with this other guy. And this other guy was a legitimate preacher on the street. He had his own church and all that stuff. And from what I've been told is that, some guys came around, and they just started bullying members of the church. They started bullying him. And, one day he got fed up with it. He went and he got a gun and he murdered them, to protect himself and to protect the people that went to his church. So he's in prison now, and he's been stabbed up. Like, somebody almost gutted him at one time. And, so they're in the cell. And, like, this child molester dude looks up to this guy. So now he's a so-called Christian. And now, this dude looks up to him so much that he introduced this dude to his mother, and they started a relationship, and they got married. So this dude is always hugging up on this guy, touching this guy, calling him daddy and all that stuff. Like, bruh. And the thing is, like, the child molester dude, he's like my age, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. And, like, you're running around calling your cellie daddy. Like, they have one of the weirdest relationships ever. But this dude, the little child molester dude, little Spanish dude, I was sitting on the kiosk, and you had a long line behind me because we literally just came off of a 5-day lockdown. And you're like, man, who's next? I'm like, bro, I don't know, bro. All I know is it's a long-ass line. That's not what I asked you. I stood up, man. You don't speak to me like that. You do not get smart with me. 1, you're a child molester. 2, you're a bitch. And 3, you're an even bigger bitch. Don't speak to me in that manner, boy. And he actually walked around me and stood behind Sanchez. Sanchez looking at this dude like, what? What? You what? And Sanchez almost whooped his ass. I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, man, like, if I want to do something, you using a human shield is not going to stop me. Like, I will go through them just to get to you. I've been known to do stupid stuff like that. So, like, but, I just unplugged my player. I went, got on the phone. I called my wife, and she just, she calmed me down. She made me laugh, and, she made me realize that I've got so much to work towards. And, it's been good. So I've been dealing, like, the month of December of 2024 is just gone by so slow. It has sucked ass so much. We've been on lockdown more than we've been out because of a bunch of stupid idiots. And that's, it's starting to, they're starting to lock us down the way they lock you down at Red Onion and Wallace Ridge. Just all the time for the pettiest of reasons. What happens in B building or C building has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with A building. Man, leave us the hell alone. Like, if you got to lock them down, fine. Leave us alone. Nobody down here did anything. Like, I want to talk to my wife. I want to talk to my friends. I want to do the things that I need to be able to do. I want to be able to work out and go take a shower instead of having to wash up in the sink. I want to be able to get my pictures and my emails from the kiosk. I love pictures. Like, I'm constantly asking my editor to send me more and more pictures. He's probably getting tired of it, but me and him will deal with that when we deal with it. Like, it allows me to live vicariously. So that's what I've really been just focusing on, is just focusing on the positive. I'm praying. My buddy John from Missouri, he sent me a really good book called Fire Prayers. Now, I disagree with some of the things this dude says. I think he's exaggerating some things, and, personally, I believe there's one thing he just flat out lied about. But a lot of the information he gave about generational curses and everything, like, it's in the Bible. I looked it up. I read it for myself, and it was good. I've been praying some of these things, and I have to say the last 3 days, including today as the 3rd day, I have been feeling great. Like, I woke up on Friday morning, and like spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, I feel the best I have felt, and I don't know how long. I actually told my wife and a couple others, like, you know, cupcaking them, like, I don't know. I think God did something. I don't know what happened, but I genuinely feel like something happened somewhere that is going to be such a blessing and a benefit to me. You know, and I'm definitely looking forward to finding out. So, you know, as of right now, I'm doing great. I'm doing this new workout by this dude named Sean Bartram. I think it's workouts for men, 75 anytime, anywhere workouts. And I just started day 1 of week 2, the leg day, and it is brutal. It is brutal, but I'm loving it. I'm loving the fact that, I mean, I really have to push myself just to get through the main workouts. And then at the end of it, he's got what's called a finisher. I can't even finish the finishers. They're that hard. So I'm loving it. You know, I mean, I'm doing good. I wish I knew what happened. You know, I wish I could bottle this feeling, but I'm doing good, people. You know, I'm fighting. You know, yeah, I still have, you know, some close calls here or there. You know, but I'm dealing with a bunch of people that are just, they're not worth dealing with. They're bad human beings. You know, and that's the one thing I hate. Like, I don't mind. Like, if you're a killer, be a killer, bro. If you're a bitch, be a bitch. I don't mind. You know, be who you are. You know, don't come in this pod and throw your chest out and walk around like, you know, you're the best fighter, you're the best killer, you're the best this, you're the best that, when everybody knows you just came from 6 months in the hole because you refused to go to any pod but this one. Because you can't use the phone or the kiosk or the microwave in any other pod but this one. You know, don't pretend to be something you're not. I don't. And
you have 1 minute remaining.
I don't pretend to be something. You know, I am who I am. You know, at the end of the day, I am a nice guy. But when push comes to shove, if you want to fight, bro, I'm all for it. You know, but why can't you just simply be yourself? Your life is going to be so much better. You know, so I'm encouraging everyone out there, be yourself. Be who you genuinely are. And if a person can't accept it, then them. You be who you are, and you'll get respect from those that matter. And those that don't, why do you want to hang out with a bitch anyway? Because that's all that person is. Stop letting people judge you. Stop letting people pull your strings. And that's something I'm working on, is to stop allowing these dudes in here just to pull my strings and just make me want to just slap them. You know, it's a fight, but we can do it together. I appreciate you folks listening to me. Remember, if you want to leave some feedback on the show or, you know, ask a question or whatnot, again, that number inside the continental U.S. is 1-888-524-1932. Anyone outside the U.S., just put a plus in front of the 1. Works just the same. You can also visit me my website at redonionrandy.com or find me on X at redonionrandy. You don't have to, but if you want to, wherever you listen to my podcast, you know, go on and give me some stars, you know, or whatever is appropriate for that platform. You know, I'll take whatever you can give me and be damn grateful for it. But, you know, I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to grow the podcast. I'm trying to reach more people. I'm trying to get my voice out there to help people. You know, the crazy thing is I actually am helping people. And in the process, I'm helping myself. So do what you can. And don't forget, I got sweatshirts, T-shirts, and maybe some other merch coming soon. You can find the link on the website, redonionrandy.com. And y'all take care and stay safe out there. Hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you for using GTL.